What's going on today, guys? Primal Sabbath here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Kingdom Beast Wars Wave 3. Now, I do realize that a good portion of this is made up of, like, store exclusives and Netflix 2-pack thing and some other stuff and, some Generation Selects. But more or less, like, this is all the Beast Wars related stuff that has come out, like, during the Wave 3 time, I should say. Albeit some of this at, like, the very tail end. Like, I literally just got Tricranius today from Pulse. And it's funny because, like, I've already picked up one Wave 4 item in stores, and I was trying to figure out where I would put the Amazon 2-pack beasts, and I think those two would probably belong in Wave 4, since that is starting to hit shelves now. I feel like I just think that that's kind of like about where they should be, where, like, originally Tricranius and Transmutate, they were all kind of like scheduled within the Wave 3 line, and as was this dude. I can't think of the name. It's something, and I'm not gonna pause this and look it up, but it's something. It's not Paleotrex. It's not. It's something. But anyways, there's that. So yeah, like, this is, like, much better compared to Wave 2, the three figures that we saw in Wave 2. And what's funny is, like, Wave 4, if I were to exclude, like, the Amazon stuff, would still only be, like, 3 figures, I believe. So there's that. So it seems like Wave 1 and Wave 3 were really where we got, like, the meat and potatoes of everything. Now, you can see I kind of have, like, the Maximals and the Predacons separated here. What's funny is, like, I'd consider this to be, like, the Maximal Black Arachnia from the reveal card. But just for the sake of, like, it was packaged as a Predacon, I am going to keep it on the Predacon side. But, like, part of my display, it's totally going to the to the Maximal side. And I may, like, kind of treat that as, like, a pre-Beast Machines, pre-Universe Crystal Widow as like another possibility, which I believe was packaged as, like, an Autobot / Child of Primus, whatever. So, there's options for that, but this Black Arachne looks really good. So yeah, this is pretty much everyone in their beast modes. This, like, I feel like let's just talk about the Bony Boys first, and gals, because I really feel like the Fossilizers should have been their own faction. Like, I hate that they put Maximal and Predacon symbols on them, especially this one in particular, because, like, it's the same kind of, like, bony color as, like, the other Fossilizers, which happen to be Predacons. And then, like, it's like, well, let's just make this one a Maximal, which is super unfortunate, in my opinion. I really do not like that they did that, because now, like, you can combine this with Tricranius and Transmutate for, like, the same effect, but it's just going to look a little off. Now, hopefully they'll do one of these in, like, a Predacon deco. It would be even cooler if it was, like, some kind of crazy translucent color, like Skelevore, figured it out on my own, and Tricranius, but yeah. And then, of course, we got the, who's this? I think it's, like, Dracodon, I believe, is who this is, which, again, I like these just kind of crazy, like, this is the color palette that I, like, remember distinctly about Beast Wars being such a very colorful, toy line. So, there is that. Now, Rhinox, on the other hand, I heard, like, there was just a lot of, like, complaints about Rhinox in general, mostly with the transformation, and there's the Thrilling 31 is so good, and while it is true, while the Thrilling 31 is a bit of a work of art, I don't know why this isn't wanting to stay closed. Do I not have it plugged in? Anyways, I guess that's, like, to highlight some of the problems is, like, granted, I liked his transformation. I did not have an issue with it at all. I don't know why. Again, it's not wanting to hug in there as tight as it should. But yeah, like, I thought this one had a much more involved transformation than the old Thrilling 31. The Thrilling 31, I have the Takara deco, and it is super nice. It's a lot nicer than this, I will admit. But this was a fun transformation, and I feel like everything, everything looks good in both modes, right? Like, I like that, and we'll get to it in robot mode, but the robot mode kind of look compared to what we sort of know Rhinox as is I think, in my opinion, a step above. So that's for me. Now, the weakest is definitely going to be Scorponok here, which is so unfortunate because, like, like they could have really done him better, in my opinion. Like this, what is this? This all looks like half finished stuff. Like this is the how you transform it, and I think it's ridiculous. Like I feel like they could have designed this better. I really do. The beast mode isn't terrible. The robot mode isn't terrible, but none of it's great. None of it's, and they really could have made it better. Definitely could have made it better, in my opinion. But they didn't. So there's that. And then of course, like for the the kind of like Target exclusive thing, this is the Buzzworthy Bumblebee multi-pack. We have Nemesis Primal, which okay, I kind of think it's a little dumb, but it's a Predacon repaint. Technically, it's got Predacon tampos, so we're gonna roll with it. They remolded the robot mode head, which we'll look at more when we get these guys in the robot mode. And I just think that that they really should have just released it in the Universe Nemesis, not Nemesis, the Universe Optimus Primal colors. That's like what a lot of people have been clamoring for and wanting, and maybe we'll see it in Generation Selects in 2022 or 2023. Who knows? But yeah, so there is that. And of course, like I said, this Black Arachnia is gorgeous. Like this kind of like weathering, dry brushing sort of like paint over the black plastic just looks fantastic. I like the greens and the oranges. A lot of people are swapping out the legs. I'm gonna opt not to, just because like for me, Kingdom is a separate entity from the original, and I just want to like keep it that way. And then finally, T-Rex, which is another one that I was super excited for, and I got stuff going unpegged here, which is, I guess, my luck. There we go. Let's get that plugged back in. Let's get this plugged back in. Now, something I feel like I may have highlighted during my Megatron review was talking about this soft, like, rubbery overlay. This was packaged in robot mode, so they just didn't fold these bits down all the way. So now this rubber is just sort of kind of permanently like this. I could probably stick it in some boiling water, maybe, and that would help it, but I kind of don't think it will. So, like, I don't know. It's just a really weird design choice for this, to just completely coat it in these rubberized, like, plastic bits, Like, I just think it's super unfortunate, and in the long run, it's just a detriment. Just a detriment to the figure. And did this come undone already? Jeez. What a piece of junk. What a piece of junk. I'm not getting rid of it, but what a piece of junk. So, anyways, there's that for T-Rex. Otherwise, like, in beast mode, it's a solid deco. Still got the same out of focus because I got so much crap in the background, but still kind of the same, like, gimmicky stuff here. You plug in blast effects. You plug in those Tricranius blast effects, which I did not take out just because, like, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm going to be doing a whole lot with blast effects. Like, they're cool, but maybe once I actually get my Kingdom display set up, that might change. And like this, none of this sticks together still, so it wasn't just my copy of Megatron that was awful. It's just, yeah, they I feel like they dropped the ball on this. They tried to reinvent the wheel, and I think it came to just bite them in the butt in the end with it. But overall, it looks good, so I guess that's what matters the most. But anyways, that's it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Maximals to 4 Predacons. Technically 7 to 3, but it is what it is, I guess. I mean, what are you gonna do? They don't seem to like making quote unquote bad guys, I guess. But anyways, this is it more or less for the group shot in beast mode, and that's your wave 3. Let's take a look at them in robot mode, and then we'll wrap this up. All right, so here we have everyone in their robot mode, looking solid as usual, in my opinion. And let's go ahead and start with Dracodon here. So, I believe it was in the Vertebrake, when I was talking about Vertebrake, how I didn't think that there was any weapon storage. And just to clarify, someone did comment that you could store the tail sword on the back of the mold. And, like, I just didn't, I didn't know. I'm pretty sure, like, I said thank you to them. I honestly can't remember. It's been a long time. I don't even know if I commented back on it. But yeah, just like they said, you can store it on the back, which is pretty cool. I really do like that, and obviously, uh, Dracodon can hold it. And honestly, like this is a lot better quality wise than Vertebrake. Like it's the same like material of plastic, but maybe there isn't like I don't know, like a paint wash on it or something. Like I don't know. It's really strange, but a lot of the like soft bits on uh Vertebrake were constantly like sticking, where on Dracodon like they don't. So pretty cool. Now, real quick, just transmutate. Pretty self-explanatory. Like I mean, it's the Paleotrex mold. Yada yada yada. This is a configuration that I saw Jesse Wittenrich post on Twitter, and I think that's the one that I like the most. I've seen some where they kind of like mix match a lot of the stuff, and those look good too. But just for me, I think this works out better. I think it kind of like fits the character too, of like just overall in general, like who the character is and who the character like is kind of meant to be. I really do want to focus on this head sculpt real quick because it is a nice head sculpt. And let's see, bam. So really cool. They were able to like integrate the whole what is essentially like a mask gimmick for most of these fossilizers into the whole screaming transmutate thing, and obviously you got a little head tilt there. So pretty cool, all things considered. I think on that front with transmutate, I really do like that. I like the paint deco all around, and to distinguish her kind of like from the other two uses of this mold, I do put the dinosaur head on her chest. So there is that. But anyways, Skelevore, it's just a translucent purple Paleotrex. Nothing special to write home about, other than just the paint apps. Like the deco on this is great with this translucent purple, the silver, and it really picks out the details in the face very well, in my opinion. Obviously, you can deploy the battle mask, mutant mask, whatever you want to call it, and that still looks really good too. But I like these kind of like night looking faces that all these guys have. So there's that. Again, Black Arachnia. Let's go ahead and focus on her. We saw this head sculpt leak with some of the early samples. Come on, let me get it. It's gonna be hard to focus with all this other crap in the background. There we go. Nope. Is it gonna? Nope. There we go. Let's just lock it in right there. So yeah, we saw this head sculpt, or I guess rather it's a face sculpt. It's just an alternate face piece, and that leaked with the early samples of the Black Arachnia toy. So pretty cool to kind of see it on a final released thing, and obviously like the leopard print boobs and even the like tiger stripes down here on the thighs. This is just a great deco in my opinion. I think this turned out looking very great, very solid. I really do like this. And again, like you can see with the brighter colors, that's kind of why I am sticking her like with my Maximals, where the retail Black Arachnia I think I'm going to keep with the Predacons. So again, it's different, so we're gonna roll with that. All right, let's just stay on repaint duty for the time being. All right, everything's gonna fall over. Okay, here we go. Onto Nemesis Primal, which I think is a goofy name, but it is what it is. Obviously, you can see we've got a tiny, teeny Predacon symbol in there. He's kind of got the typical like Nemesis / Black Convoy paint apps with the teal and the silver, opposed to, I guess, the red and the white. I really don't know, but this head sculpt is aces, I think, in my opinion. Very, very nice head sculpt. I do like it. Let's get that up a little bit more. And there we go. It's a little bit better. So yeah, I really do like that head sculpt. Really do hope we get a Universe Primal out of this. I think it's much needed and much deserved at this point. And all right, let's keep the repaint train going. This is Tricranius Beast something. Anyway, Tricranius. We're just gonna call him Tricranius. This is gorgeous. I love these fossilizers, and like with this kind of translucent plastic, you can see we have like a nice fade to an opaque black in here. Again, all the reds are translucent. This orange is also kind of translucent. It's got some like deco over it, which is really nice. But this really does pick out the details in the face. Really, really nice in here, as you can see. And you can even like put this down over it, and you can sort of see his eyes through it. So yeah, I think this is awesome. And of course, he is a maximal. Again, I feel like the fossilizers should definitely be their own faction. They'd be great as like a VOC faction. Maybe IDW will do something interesting with them. I would hope, since like Hasbro and Netflix really didn't. But yeah, this is just a great deco overall. For what's like otherwise like a pretty bland fossilizer, it's definitely my least favorite fossilizer. And finally, T-Rex. What are we gonna do with you, pal? So yeah, like I feel a little robbed. I think a lot of people feel a little robbed about T-Rex, because like you see we've got this like silver lipstick in here, which clearly should have been the paint for the teeth of the alternate head. There was I think one single Kingdom Megatron found at retail that had the alternate head with like the teeth on it, which was clearly meant to be for T-Rex. And then there's the head coming with Rexy from the Jurassic Park set, or whatever they're calling that officially, that has like a very mutant mask kind of look, and I would not have minded that head on the T-Rex either, just because like I display my original T-Rex with the mutant mask to sort of distinguish it between, you know, him and Megatron. But like missed opportunity that they didn't include that head sculpt on these. But otherwise, aside from, you know, the soft plastic issues that I pointed out in beast mode, it's still solid to a degree. I don't know, it doesn't jump out as much at me as the original did, as far as like paint deco goes, but it's not awful. It's just not great for what was otherwise like a pretty difficult exclusive to get a hold of. So, or could have been. I don't know. People are having like mixed experiences getting it. You know, it's Target exclusive here in the U.S., but I think in the UK it's pretty easy to get a hold of. So cool for them. Now let's get on to the new guys. Right, that's the stuff that matters, isn't it? I'm going to start with the weakest one, and that's going to be Scorponok, which, you know, yikes my guy. Again, this isn't as bad as the beast mode, but it's just something like, I don't know. I feel like this is the first new mold this thing has had since '96. I think they could have maybe given it a little more love. Like, it didn't need to be like some kind of overly thought out. It was just a deluxe. Like, he was a small fella in the cartoon, and that's all he needed to be, was just a small fella. But I don't know. Like, I don't know what else they could have done. I mean, Transform Element did a great job with how he, you know, would have looked and transformed and all that other stuff. So, I mean, it can be done. It can be, like, you can get a better Scorponok out of it, but we didn't. And that's kind of disappointing, but that's also just how the cookie crumbles in these sorts of scenarios. Would I buy like repaints of it? For sure. It's not terrible, and I feel like it's unfair to compare a, you know, $40 Legends toy to a $25 deluxe or $22 deluxe. You know, so I get that. I get what I'm doing with that, but again, it could still have been done better, in my opinion. But we do get the little removable bee missile thing. So there's that. Very, very tiny. And there we are. Very, very tiny. I think some people were saying they were able to like get it stuck on to Optimus somehow. I don't know. I mean, you could do it maybe kind of this way, long ways. It wouldn't really be the same. So, you know, whatever. Would have been cool if they could have maybe integrated that, but that would just be so tough. Like that's asking for a lot. And then obviously we have the 2 missiles, so and you can turn them whichever way you want in there to get those to close up. But yeah, that's Scorponok. I wish I was a little more wowed by it. It's cool that we have him, but he's just not mind blowing for me. Just not too mind blowing. Rhinox, on the other hand, like I said, I think turned out pretty solid. I know people complain about the legs and how they transform and yada yada yada. I didn't really have a problem with it. I will say I think like the problem folks have with these little bitty baby guns is probably more reasonable problem to have. I would agree with that as a problem. But you know, because like the old generations, when it had the old generations, when goodness, it's very dating. It had like a little gimmick where you could make them spin, and you know, it was fun. It was cool. You do get some weapon storage, which I do like. Obviously, you got it in beast mode. You can also get it here in robot mode. You just plug these in back here, and well, I say you can. There we go. My hands were being stupid. So, you get that. Obviously, he is waffly as all get out in the back. I'm not going to display him from like any other angle that I would display him from. You're not really going to see. My only, I guess, complaint for aesthetic, I guess, would be not having some kind of middle. Usually they sculpt like a little, you know, like a little arch in here or something to kind of not make it look so right angly. But yeah, that, and if they could have just painted the top of these, because like they have been pretty good about paint application, more or less in Kingdom. I feel like the deluxes are really getting a lot out of it, and Voyagers are kind of getting stiffed on it, like Dinobot. But yeah, like just that little small amount of paint apps, that would have been really cool to see. Otherwise, like I like the Rhinox. He would have been cool if we could have got the maximal symbols on his head. But, you know, I feel like that would be asking for too much on top of the shoulder paint. But the shoulder paint should have absolutely been there. Now, what in my opinion is the coolest part of Wave 3 is this character's name that I forgot. Wingfinger. That's it. There we go. Wingfinger. Wingfinger, I think, is probably the coolest of the Bony Boys. With the Paleotrex mold being a close second. But I don't know, I really do like this. Like, what's wild is, like, I don't really care for the beast mode all that much, but the robot mode is sick. So you have, obviously, everything kind of tucked away nicely here. You do get weapon storage, which the Tricranius mold kind of suffered from. And I remember, like, seeing something on Twitter of, like, someone putting Wingfinger in, like, the Captain Levi pose from Attack on Titan, just kind of, like, flying through the air. Pulling stuff off. But yeah, so you can just get some solid dynamic poses out of Wingfinger, and it just looks great. I think you can do the chicken leg thing, or you can straighten them out. So I like that it's an option. Big fan of options. Well, okay, yeah, you can bend it that way. So that is really cool. You know, they could have just kind of like forced you into having like Bayverse Starscream hands, and I'm glad they didn't. But like, otherwise, I think Wingfinger is the best part of Wave 3. So there we go. That is that, and that's more or less it for Kingdom Beast Wars Wave 3. I'm excited to have all of these. Again, like, my biggest problem with Wave 2 is that there just wasn't enough. And, like, I completely realized that out of all of these, only 3 of them are new molds. And I'm fine with that. Like, I feel like one of the strongest aspects of Beast Wars were its repaints. And, you know, we are getting and have gotten some more repaints out of Wave 4. I think, like, Wave 4 is only going to give us 2 new molds. Unless there's some more surprise, like, Target Bumblebee thing repaints pop up, which is totally possible, I guess, the Buzzworthy stuff. But But that's, I don't know, like that's, I feel like one of the fun parts of Transformers is making like multiple characters out of the same mold, and like in even some cases like the same character. Like again, we have a Black Arachnia here that can double as Maximal Black Arachnia or Crystal Widow, and I think that's really cool. Even though she's got a little Predacon symbol there, we can just ignore it. But yeah, this was a fun set of toys. It was plentiful. It took them forever to get here, especially if you ordered through Pulse like I did. I ended up getting Rhinox from Amazon because Pulse pushed him back, I believe, to like December, and I just wasn't gonna wait that long. I'd already been waiting long enough, in my opinion, considering like folks were finding Wave 3 like in July. So yeah. But anyways, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment box. I'll do what I can to answer them. And I hope you guys have been enjoying Kingdom as much as I have. But until the next video, which should be the Amazon 2-pack stuff, I'm going to do both of those kind of individually and then loop the beasts into the Wave 4 stuff once I get all of those in. But yeah, it'll be fun. So until then, I'll see you guys later.